My family, welcome to yet another audio, Truth I Love the Church, where we speak the truth in love. I remember, posting a couple of videos concerning the killings of Christians in Nigeria and, some of those comments that were made by President Trump, and some of those reactions. We really did share all those things with you. And the last post we actually made was, where we actually told you that Apostle Suleman's last comment was
all kinds of talk now. I see comments online. They have paid Apostle Suleman. That's why it's quiet. They gave him money. Who can pay me? Nobody can pay me. Nobody can pay me. The government doesn't have the kind of money I'm looking for. I'm being honest. No government has the money. Do you know what I spend in a week? I give money more than politicians. Are you following me? Who can pay me? Nobody can pay me. But I've grown. Now I've grown. When I discover that what I say, just a statement from me, makes people rich. They are carrying it, they are spreading it, they are being rich. I say, I will not empower people anymore. I'll be quiet. No, I will not empower you anymore. I'll be quiet. Why don't I speak on national issues? Why? I'll tell you, I've told you before. One singular reason. Elijah does not debate.
So yes, that's actually the snippet. If you want to watch the full video, you can check the previous uploads we actually made. Well, one of you actually sent me this video, to my personal Telegram contact, as you can see over there. This is what the apostle had to say about the killings of Christians in Nigeria.
Listen to this. There are no explanations. There are no explanations to failure when knowledge is provided. Ignorance is not an excuse. This morning the pastor called me on the phone and he was very angry. He was quite brutal. And I said, why are you angry? So he's a notable preacher of the gospel. He said, can you imagine over the killings and all going on and the issue of killings of Christians, that some people were categorizing me, you, they said we are not speaking about killings. And I said to him, it's because you are still thinking everybody on social media have sense. Many social media users, when they bought data, they sold their brain. So I think that's why you are bothered. I've been speaking since 2014, true of us. That's what I'm known for. I've been speaking. I've almost lost my life, almost lost my family. Our church in Abuja, was in Mabuchi, they brought it down. They brought our church down because we were speaking against the killings of Christians. And there's nobody should say, oh, Christians are not just the ones dying, Muslims are also dying. Are you not ashamed? It's like you caught a thief. You say, you stole my shirt and my trouser. You say, I didn't steal your shirt, I only stole your trouser. The truth is that there are killings and the killings must stop. There are killings and the government have no capacity to handle it. It's beyond them. There are killings. I have not just been speaking against killings. I traveled there. I was in Jos, I was in Benue, I was in Yola. Everywhere there have been killings, I've been there. So there are killings in the country. So anybody who says there are no killings, remove genocide. It's a big word. What is genocide? Systematic annihilation. That's genocide. Somebody has no quarrel with you. You come to his house, you kill him. You go to another place, you kill him. Don't you have an agenda? So what else is genocide? There is genocide in Nigeria. There is genocide. For those of you who are in the West, when I finish like this, they will get their data boys that they give 20,000 to start posting. In case you want to post something about me, look for one. I wear good suit. Look for where I'm dressed well. Don't look for one of our social media handlers was telling me that they brought a picture of me praying for Ukraine, and they say he's praying for Ukraine and it's in Nigeria. The problem is that you don't know that some of us pastors have grown beyond Nigeria. We are not your mate. We have grown beyond Nigeria. In Ukraine, I have 2 churches in Ukraine before the war. In Russia till today, we have 2 churches. We have a church in Moscow. We have a church in St. Petersburg. We have churches in over 50 countries. So anytime there's a crisis, I must kneel down to pray for my brothers there. I'm happy you are using the picture. At least that will help our members in Ukraine know that I prayed for them. Can you see that trying to throw banter at somebody, you are being foolish? There is no way you can criticize pastors in Nigeria without sounding stupid. That's the truth. Nobody speaks against killings like pastors. What else are we here for? The killings must stop. I've been speaking against it since 2014, even before some of them bought phone. Before you bought phone, I've been speaking against killings. You just came on board. So shut up and ask questions. Okay? So I told the pastor, I said, the problem is that you think everybody has sense. When you understand, the people that you are angry are insulting you. Some of them in their own family, they don't value their opinion. People whose family members do not rate are the ones you are rating. When last did they call them for family meeting? Praise the Lord. When bad things start happening to them now, you won't know it's what you caused. When bad things start happening to your life, you won't know it's because you made comments that were lies. You start blaming village people that were innocent, witches that are tired of your case. Are you aware there are some people, native doctors have avoided them? When Baba saw them coming, he would tell the apprentice, I know the house, I know the house, I know the house. Because even the charm they gave to them to use 5 times a day, because they wanted to overwork, they use it 12 times. Now you came to church, we are trying to help you now, you are bringing your arrogance.
So that was his comment on the matter. We also have his father in the Lord, that is Daddy G, or Pastor Adeboye. He also had this to say to the Nigerian government and even the President of the Republic of Nigeria.
I will say quietly to our government, move fast, move diplomatically, move wisely, find a way to convince the President of America to please delay his actions for about 100 days and then come home and tell our security chiefs, get rid of these terrorists within 90 days or resign. Now that, I'm sure, will sound familiar to those of you who have been following situation in Nigeria. There was a president, unfortunately, he's dead now, that's Buhari, who issued such an order. Some of you will remember. Who called the service chief together and said, I give you 3 months. Get rid of all these Boko Haram people or resign. He's not around to tell you who gave him that advice. He ran with that advice, but he didn't follow it through. Because he gave the order as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. But the security operatives moved fast. But 3 months went, and the work was not done. So I went to see him. It was in the news, so this time somehow the press got to know that I visited him. Of course, they were not there when we talked. And unfortunately, like I said, it's not alive now. Or else I would have asked you to go and ask him. Sir, why didn't you follow through? Because when 3 months passed and the work wasn't done, why didn't you proceed with your, are we going to call it threat? I won't tell you the details. But one thing came out of that meeting. Which would lead me to my next advice to our government. In case there's any of you who can get across to them. That when giving orders to the service chief this time round, we should make it clear to them that they are not only to eliminate the terrorists, they should eliminate their sponsors. No matter how influential they may be. When I say my people, when I say our leaders should move fast, move diplomatically, they have to be and move wisely. We must take note of the fact that if America should attack us, China is not coming to defend us. Russia will not come to defend us. All the so-called world leaders, they will talk. They will condemn what America had done in strongest terms. But that's all they will do. That's all. Britain is not going to come and help us. No foreign or no other foreign powers will come to our aid. This is not the time for joking. This is not the time for grammar. This is not the time for, I don't know a simple word for semantics. It's not the time when you begin to argue. Is it, what's the language? Whatever they want to call it. And this is not the time for saying, it's not Christian alone, Muslims are also involved. The point is, people are dying. Innocent people are dying. I almost spoke last month when I heard the speech of my in-law, the president. When I heard the speech, particularly that section that spoke about security, and you can go and listen to it again, where I heard him say, all is well now, that displaced people have returned to their villages, and I almost said, the one who wrote that speech for my president, my in-law, does not like him. And if you want to say, what do you mean? Somebody wrote it, but it's the president who read it. Didn't he read it before he read it? Well, if you put it that way, then my conclusion will be there are several people around my beloved in-law who are not telling him the truth. But that's all right, because I think the following day in the newspapers we read about a traditional ruler being killed, whether in Kwara or Kogi, while the wife was hiding somewhere in the house. It is not the time for apportioning blames. Our president inherited this problem. It started before him. And in any case, I am an applied mathematician. I am more interested in just get the problem solved. That's all. Let's let the government use diplomatic method to convince President Trump to give us 100 days of grace. Call our service chiefs. Fortunately, they are new. Perform within 3 months or resign. Now, where do you come in? You want to ask me, Daddy, you want to tell us you had no idea that something like this is coming? Well, I've told you I'm not a prophet. I only hear from God once in a while. But do you think I asked you to fast for 100 days for fun? Didn't I share with you, my children? Didn't I share with you that God says this will be a remarkable year? Didn't I share with you that God said that the wind that was blowing last year, that started blowing last year, is going to become a bit more violent this year? Did I tell you? Well, you know, each time we have a meeting like this, I'm not the one who chooses the theme. It's God. Whatever he asks me to talk on, that's what I talk on. Now, concerning what we are still discussing, by this time next week, we will be having a Holy Ghost service in Abuja. And when we were asking God what will be the theme, he gave us the theme, fear not. That's months ago, before Trump spoke. And anybody who knows the Bible knows that the only time God will say fear not is when there is something to fear. So, when I put all these things together, I know in this year that God says will be remarkable. One way or the other, there will be peace again in Nigeria.
So you hear that, my family, and I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.